Intelligence is a burden in its own way. It's a blessing and a curse. Sometimes I wish I was a simp. Sometimes I wish I was a nice guy. Sometimes I wish I was just ignorant to the fact of human nature and the way people actually are and how the world actually works. And the reason why I wish I was these things is because I would be a lot more happy. See, the more you know, the less you can ignore, the less you can let things pass by. That's the thing about the truth. Once you know the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't ever go back to the innocent you. And so I see why people would rather live and have comfortable lies told to them than to acknowledge the actual truth. It's a bit of a burden, and it's a heavy burden for anybody that wants to go down the path of reality and truth. See, the simp, he thinks the woman actually loves him for him. He thinks he's actually, when he does a favor for the woman, she actually appreciates it. He didn't notice that she's probably talking to somebody else on the side and cheating on him. He didn't realize that it's a strong possibility that that same guy she's cheating with is really his kid and not the simp's kid. They see social interactions and they see friends and they think they're actually friends. They're nice to people, thinking everybody's nice and everybody has a nice side, and they think everybody is inherently good. People that think this way, they are more happy, but us intelligent people, we cannot ignore this, which makes it hard for us to really ever be truly satisfied, or not even really satisfied, that's the wrong word, but really ever just in a state of contentment, because we know what's actually going on. We may try to push something in the back of our mind all we want to, but we know what it is. We know how to decode different interactions and social interactions between people. We can't help it. And so intelligence is a burden. People say that we're introverted and we're more alone and we don't like to socialize. I think we have it all wrong. I think the reason why we don't socialize as intelligent people is not because we're necessarily introverted. It's just that it's not interesting. Most people are predictable. Most people are unimpressive. They live, look, you guys see on social media, the people that you follow, they post the same things at the gym, in the lab. Snapchat, the same things. You ask them about work, the same stuff. See, we see through all of this and we all know it's fake and it's completely disinteresting. We see through the small talk. We see through the fake smiles. We see through the social games that are playing, that people are playing against each other. We see the ulterior motives. And so we've already played chess in this game and we're already working on the second game, and most people hadn't even begun the first chess match. And we're already, it's exhausting because for us, we're actually paying attention and socially aware to everything. Most people just go out and just have fun. No care for the world, right? They don't care about there's a possible maniac mass shooter and how to deal with that. Not worried about how mad a man can get or how a woman is looking and how she spiked his drink or hurt his drink or her drink. we're actually paying attention. And after we get home that night, it is actually relaxing. So you're in a weird place if you're an intelligent, smart person. You reject society, and in turn it rejects you, because the people don't want to hear the truth. People are very shallow. They're not deep. They're not, excuse me, they don't go beneath the surface. And so whenever you try to interact and insert something that you think is intelligent, that's deep, that we talk about, oftentimes when you're around average people, they dismiss it. And so you end up, that happens to you quite a bit. And then you end up just like, hey man, like, let me not say anything at all. See, the people, we know that people don't want the truth because it makes them look in the mirror, and it makes them acknowledge the fact that their ego isn't as big as they think it is. People often overestimate themselves and how smart they actually are. And so once you tell them truths about certain things and certain topics that make them, force them to look deeper at themselves, they can't take that. And that's what causes them to lash out against you, and what causes them to be resentful of you. This is why you can't share the truth with everybody. You can't tell people what they want to hear tell people the truth all the time, because it'll have opposite effect. Not everybody takes the truth the same way. This is why it's so easy for leaders that are charismatic and simplistic thinkers to oftentimes gain a big audience, because their ideas are very very shallow. They're telling the masses confirmation biases and things they want to hear, and they're naturally charismatic about doing it. They're naturally stylish. So, and captivating through their speech. So it makes them easier to follow. Take Andrew Tate, for instance. He's not saying anything that hasn't been said about masculinity at all. But the fact that he's very confident, the fact that he's in shape, the fact that he has the cars and the materialism, the cigar, the cognac, he projects confidence and has all the symbolic things of wealth. That makes and fools the average person into thinking that he's deeper than what he actually is. And in reality, his ideas are very shallow, telling men what they want to hear, some of it being truth and some of it being false. But this is how he's gained an advantage over the average person. The intelligent is taken over and taken advantage of the average ignorant person. So you're going to be alone most of the time if you're an intelligent person. Because why? Because most people don't get it. They don't want to get it. They'll never get it. They'll live their whole life and never really fully understand the world, or want to understand the world. It just kind of is what it is at the end of the day. You're going to have to get a significant amount of satisfaction from just being alone. But we have to keep speaking truth to power at some level, because without us, there's no progress in society. The rebel moves society. Even at the time that he's rebelling, it's not accepted. Oftentimes, the most intelligent, thoughtful philosophers are respected years later after they passed away, because they were ahead of their time at that moment. And I'm not saying I'm a philosopher or anything like that on that level, but I often find a lot of these social interactions, I find a lot of people unimpressive. I find a lot of these things uninteresting because they're easily predictable and a lot of people are easily fooled and led to slaughter. Nobody wants to think for themselves. But that is my video. You guys have a good day, good week. And I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.